Wrapping up here at the Aspect Arena, home of Concord Rangers, with Chippenham Town manager Gary Horgan. Gary, unfortunately it's a 3-1 defeat against Concord today. The scoreline doesn't quite reflect the performance that was put in, and certainly not the entire tale of the tape, but talk us through your initial thoughts of that one, mate.
Yeah, look, I'm disappointed with the result, quite rightly. As I said, it probably doesn't tell the whole tale of the scoreline, doesn't tell the tale of the performance today a little bit, but I felt what we did ask for today, having gone, I think, for the first time last week on Tuesday, first time since we've come together as a group to go back-to-back defeats. I think it was the first time we've done that, so we did ask for us to be, having dominated both of those games, certainly in terms of possession and chances, to go and be a bit more ruthless in both boxes today, and I don't think we achieved that. I think, like I said, the score will probably reflect that, and I think what I saw here with my own eyes did as well.
We'll talk through the big moments, Gary. Obviously the first goal, it was almost, we said against the run of play on commentary. Ball's come in from a long throw. It seemed very early that set pieces were going to be the order of the day if Concord were going to get anything out of the game. Throw in on the right hand side, just a little bit of a failure to clear the line. Second ball breaks, and it's an absolutely stonewall free header for the six that's coming on that, and I can't remember the guy's name, but that puts them 1-0 up, takes it in a half time. And obviously the chat that you've had at half time come out at the start of 45 minutes. I thought we reacted superbly at the start of the second half.
Yeah, first half, they've got a new manager, they've come in, he needs to get results, and he's chosen to go about getting results and in the way that you've seen today, really, and fair play to them, because you've got to do things to turn stuff around, so we need to do that as well now. But yeah, as you said, first half we didn't deal with the physical threat of Mana. He not necessarily bullied us, we just couldn't deal with his threat. We tried to screen him, that didn't necessarily sort of work from there. But we dealt with most of the stuff coming. We did have a warning shot where I think one flashed across the, from a long throw. But we had to be big and brave and defend in terms of just long balls into the box, high balls, not necessarily into the box, but they played for long throws and free kicks, and ultimately we got undone with a long throw in the end because we've not cleared the second ball. So we talk about that ruthlessness in both boxes, and we didn't have that first half. We adjusted that, or we made a couple of adjustments at half time. I think we then started again on the front foot, and we didn't have the same problems that we had then. Got ourselves right back into the game at 1-0, and then, like I said, at that point we're comfortable that we think there's only going to be one winner in it. But as I said, we haven't then finished the chances that we've had at 1-0. Harvey Greenstay's had a really, really good chance from 6 yards. Harry Parsons has had a really good chance from 6 yards. The keeper's pulled off 2 saves. So clearly the big moments in the game haven't gone for us today. So we've got to be better. There's no excuses. No excuses from us today. No excuses from the players. None of us are making excuses. We're looking at ourselves individually and what we can do and what we can do as a group.
Let's talk about the second goal, Gary. Ours. It was really a testament to kind of the conversations that you and I have had, not only in person on here, but also behind the scenes as well. You've always set your stall out to be a manager that doesn't want to play boring football, despite the contrary opinion that some people might have, that we're a team that defends and tries to grind out results. That was a real epitome of the style of football that you're looking to implement at Chippenham Town Football Club. Richard strolls out from the back, interchange down the right hand side, transfer over to the left hand side, Russ with a stabbing through ball, Greenslade first time cross, Bray first time finish. It's about a 15 pass move strung together on a fairly decent pitch for playing, but an absolutely perfect footballing goal.
If I like that from the side, but I'd have to watch it back. Yeah, look, we asked them to be braver from the off, show courage from the off, and I thought we could have been a little bit better at doing that in the first half. I think what happened was we did sort of kind of show that bravery, but we didn't show the intent and the intensity that we would have liked. And like I said, we came out second half and did that, and then the goal sort of typified that. It was a good move, as you said. And then, like I say, from there on in, we've created 2 other really, really good chances. So off the bat, and you think, right, we're going to go on and win this sort of like well, and we're well in the ascendancy then. And then they have an injury, which I think, again, they managed the game really, really well in terms of we got a bit of momentum, and they stopped start. They made a substitution which took almost 5 minutes, or it felt like an eternity really at the time, and things were starting to be slowed down. It started to break the game up. That affected our momentum. But yeah, look, overall, like I said, in terms of, to answer the question, we were pleased with that. People stepping in, we did that, showed that bravery, and when we were a bit more patient, like I said, instead of trying to maybe go forward, and I know we at times you want to play forward, and we always want them to play forward. We always ask that, forward runs, forward dribbles. We want that. So we scored a good goal, and like I said, ultimately after that, it's like I said, we've had two really good chances and then been undone by a decision two decisions which have gone against us. But again, it's not about that at all. We just haven't been good enough in both boxes.
There's an old saying in football, Gary. Football's never harder than when you're down on your luck. You've dominated Tonbridge in terms of possession and stats, lost 2-0. You sent me through the stats on Tuesday against Hemel and dominated every measurable statistic apart from the one that mattered, being the scoreline. Today you've come down here, you're back in the ascendancy, it's 1-1. There only looks like it's going to be one team winning it. Ball breaks down the right hand side from an absolute punt to nowhere, and Akambi has practically caught the ball and rolled it to Nana Kiai in the middle. Lino's missed it, referees missed it. Will Henry definitely didn't miss it because he was livid, but unfortunately that was the second goal. And when it came massively against the run of play after the unfortunate exit of Mana, no one likes to see that in football, but it really did change the game. That was a 30-minute period of dominance in the second half that was ended by a goal totally against the run of play, and unfortunately that sealed your fate.
Yeah, against the run of play or not, we haven't dealt with the big moment well enough. I don't want to have to rely on the handball. It is handball. We've watched it on the video. I've asked the ref, what he thought about it, and we've had a chat about that as well. He's explained a couple of laws to me that, as I said, really amicable chat. But in terms of the laws, he's talked of the third goal as well and said, look, it has hit his hand. I've seen it hit his hand, but he said he's miscontrolled it onto his hand, so it's disappointing because from the sidelines it almost seems like the laws of the game reward a poor touch or poor play, really. So there's nothing we can do from the sideline from that. Like I said, as I said, the ref's been honest enough to say that. But look, that's the third goal. Both of them have hit hands, but we've allowed the laws of the game to dictate really the big moments in terms of the goals, because we haven't dealt with the first phase of those plays good enough, and you'll get no excuses from me today. You get no excuses from the players. We can't keep coming off and saying that we've dominated this, and the stats tell us that we've done really well in the game, because the only stat that matters at the moment is the 3 points and the goal. So we have to work hard to turn it around as a group. I'd be more concerned if I was coming here thinking, what do we do? There's certainly some good things to work on. And we've also got a lot of returning players, no Faz today, no Youngie, and the list goes on. So look, again, no excuses from us. We just haven't been good enough, and it's as simple as that.
Let's put this in a rear view now then, Gary, because we don't like to end on a gloomy note. In 2019, you stood next to Mark in one of the biggest games in Chippenham's history, the home game against Northampton. 2,500 in the stadium, packed out, lovely atmosphere. For all intents and purposes, for us that are involved in football, it's why we do. It's a wonderful occasion. You've earned yourself a stab at that again, this time as the first team manager, taking the boys out against the highest ever ranked side that Chippenham ever played in Lincoln City in the FA Cup first round at home. Ticket sales have gone really well for both sides, I'm told. So you're already looking at creeping up towards the 2,000 mark that are going to be getting in there on Saturday. I suppose for you boys that play football at a slightly less glamorous side of football down in the non-leagues, this is the kind of occasion that really can, if you ever needed it, give you an extra spring in your step and a little bit of extra motivation. Yeah, the good thing is it'll provide a bit of a distraction this week. So we'll have a good run up at it, a good week of preparation. We're hoping that the week gives us some time to get some bodies back in, and if it doesn't, we'll do what we've done every week. You've heard me say the last three we've had to adapt and not really been able to have a full complement of players to pick from, but that every manager can come on and tell you that. So like I said, this week we'll have a good go at preparing for Saturday's game. We just really, like I said, we'd like to just give a good account of ourselves, good account of the club, and a good account of the National League, really, at both levels. So look, that's our aim next week, is to go there and do that, really, and just be as good as we can, and like I said, try and upset the apple cart, so to speak. I know you'll never 100% nail your colours to the mast on this one, Gary, but as a results man at Chippenham, it seems a bit odd saying in the midst of a three game winless streak, but you've always managed to find a way. You came in under fairly auspicious circumstances at the end of last year and got us into the playoffs. You started the league campaign really well this season, up until a point. The FA Cup games, you've always found a way. It seems to be that a Gary Horgan side, certainly a Chippenham Gary Horgan side, always finds a way to just about be in the game as long as it possibly can. And Are you confident ahead of this weekend? I mean, what goes through the head of a manager managing a part-time non-league football club when they're coming up against a full-time side like Lincoln, who themselves were only in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup 3 years ago?
It's probably the wrong time to ask me now. But look, we go into every game with the belief that we can get something out of it if we set up right and we do things right. Like I said, it becomes more difficult when you haven't got everybody available to you, and you know, we've got some square pegs in some round holes at the moment at times. But again, look, we'll try and do everything we can to go and win that game of football, so that, you know, like I said, it gives everyone, you know, something to cheer and something to be proud of, really. And in there, like I said, the group they're an honest bunch. They're, you know, irrespective of this, you know, say sticky patch, you know, for me, we've just lost 3 games within a week. It's not ideal, I get that. Yeah, but as I said, first time, you know, that we've lost a run of games. I'd be more concerned if we'd done what some of the others around us have done at the moment. That's sort of gone 8, 9, 10 games without a win, and you know, with the schedule, that, you know, that's something that's possible for any team in this league. You know, it's an unforgiving league. But yeah, look, we'll go into it. I think, not necessarily full of confidence, but I think by the time we work on stuff this week and really look at what we can do, we'll try and, like I said, make ourselves as competitive in that game as possible. Yes, it's a hard task, but every year there's an upset every year, and you know, we'll ask the same question: why can't it be us? And everybody says that. You'll hear every manager say that, but why can't it be us? You know, as I said, so we'll do our absolute utmost to win that game of football, as we do any game of football. You know, as I say, people haven't come here today and, you know, deliberately cleared the ball into people's hands, deliberately missed chances from 3 yards. So it doesn't happen. So we'll try our absolute utmost to win that game of football next week. And like you said, we'll go into it thinking that we can.
Well, from all of us here, Gary, it's commiserations, unfortunately, from the Concord Rangers today. I say, yeah, I sat and watched that whole game on commentary, and I don't feel that the scoreline really reflected the performance, but unfortunately it is today. No points on the road. We go back now, obviously, Saturday, from all of us here, from all of Chippenham, from the town, from the supporters, from all of us that are involved with Chippenham Town Football Club. We'd just like to wish you and the boys all the very best for Saturday. It will hopefully be a massive occasion, and hopefully we can cause a little bit of a cup set.
Yeah, thank you.
Top
Thanks,
man,
guys.
Well done.